Hey, that wing got my house.
Is it really? Is it really recording?
Take my earpiece out so I can hear this nonsense.
Welcome to another episode of the Uncensored Philly Sports Podcast. You got the four horsemen, Ethan, Ephraim, Wayne, and Tim. After a big win against the Chicago Bulls, once again we handled the Bulls. Tim and I was down at the game tonight. It was fun. You know what I'm saying? My voice is a little weak tonight, so you might not hear Wayne screaming. Unless somebody say something dumb. But what did y'all get from the game tonight?
Yeah, I mean that's why we
You were
signing on.
Screaming down there at the game, Wayne?
Yeah, you was screaming.
Absolutely. I talk trash all day long. Hey, any new people, real quick though, Ephraim, any of the new people that might have seen us down there, you know what I'm saying? I was telling people, check us out. If y'all seen this and y'all was down there, I'll give a shout out in the comments, man. Like I said, we answer everybody. We talk to everybody that we can.
What's up, Fair? What's going on? What's good? Yeah, Tim and Wayne was down at the game. Lollygagging. Shout out to Tim Rob. They were down there lollygagging, so that's why we starting like an hour later than we probably should have.
I wasn't lollygagging. Somebody drive like an old person.
Yeah, definitely. Tim driving like Morgan Freeman and driving Miss Daisy. So he hearing all the traffic rules and stop signs. He being cautious instead of getting home in an expeditious manner. But nonetheless,
that's Morgan Freeman again.
Exactly. Shout out. Nonetheless, we here after a sensational Sixers victory over another top seed. Granted, they was missing, two of their players, Vuk and Ball, but nonetheless, we had to go against Miami without Harden. So it is what it is. You win some, you lose some. That's when we won. Ultimately, I have to say this because I will be a fraud if I didn't. Ethan said this before, and he said he was kind of saying it more differently than I'm gonna say it. He said when we get to see Harden, we're gonna see him every night, so we're gonna be able to determine who he really is. All right. And now after seeing Harden for 5 games this has been so far, I'm more impressed. With 4 games, I'm more impressed than with his game than I've been before. I mean, granted, we see him national TV when he was playing with Houston and he was playing with Brooklyn, but he is actually a better point guard and passer than I actually gave him credit for. I mean, bro,
y'all years ago that
but I used to see him a lot of times. I used to kind of pay more attention when he would throw the oops to Capella and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, he threatened the needle on bounce pad. A couple Jones Thibault wasn't even ready for. Like Thibault had some easy lays, and they came in and he got fumble fingers with the ball. I mean, his passing is incredible, man. I'm very impressed. I mean, it's no wonder he averaging with us probably around 13 assists a game. He had 14 again tonight. But Harden in his bag, bro. I mean, not to take away from B because B had a monster game. We're going to talk about that. But I had to give a shout out to Harden but just how good he is as a point guard.
Listen, hey, wait, real quick. Listen, I see y'all because they coming at Tim about the titles. Listen, we're the Philly podcast. We know y'all got our back. We know we got our Philly people coming in and showing us love. The other players, I'm not mad at Tim putting the other players first because now you got guys from other people from other cities and stuff coming and check us out. We know we got y'all gonna have our back. So, and y'all know what we on here to talk about. So I mean, I don't think it really matters what order we put the names in. You know what I'm saying? Y'all here. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, he did put Embiid and Harden name in there. Okay. All right.
Hey, yeah, fair. We did just hit 1K. Shout out to everybody who subscribed to that 1K was nice. Yeah, that was
thanks for the love. Thanks for the love.
Hey, I should pop the bottle.
Yeah. Go ahead, Ethan. My bad.
It took us about 3 years to hit it.
Yeah.
It took us a while.
Better late than never. Right?
We had 100% participation for most nights, and we probably would have got her sooner, but
Yeah. Well, we here.
I'll piggyback off Ephraim a little bit. What's the name? Thibault had 12 points tonight. Harden, even though he didn't shoot well tonight, you still see the impact of him on a basketball court, man. This is what I was saying yesterday about that loss. The impact of Harden. Yeah, Yeah, B crush Harden. It feels like Harden is go ahead, let B. Listen, you want to be Batman? Go ahead, be Batman. I'll be Robin. Right now, you go ahead, you do your thing. Cause it's B. He came onto another man's team, so you're gonna have to let that man go ahead and do his thing. But yeah, the way he runs this team, how he gets everybody involved, how he knows when to go. Because we ain't have really a player like, listen, time to go get a bucket. He can go get a bucket. Yeah, Max can do his thing, but he more powerful getting the bucket, or he can get you to the free throw line. Harden has made this team a championship team, man. We are legitimately a championship team. I know y'all was has. That's why I ain't feel good last year about the team. I didn't even feel good this year about the team. Till now, with Harden here, and you see how this ball drastically changes this basketball team, man, I really feel good about this team. And Doc, I like how Doc didn't play Cork. He knew it was time to go ahead and fill out them young bulls before it's too late. Let Isaiah Joe play. Let him go through a little growing pains, miss a couple shots. Let him play. Fill out these young bulls because Cork ain't it.
I agree. Yeah, somebody mentioned that in the comments too. I saw. I don't know who it was. Go ahead, Tim Wayne. Right. Y'all was down there firsthand. Y'all got the inside scoop.
Well, the game was good. The game was fun. Wayne had our entire about 3 different sections hype. But we had a really, really good time. So shout out to Tim again. When thinking back at James Harden being a point guard for our team, and I forget who I was talking to. I don't know if it was y'all or if it was email, but we was talking about somehow the reason why I probably didn't work with Chris Paul was because they both are true point guards. It was trying to have like 2 men living under the same household. It was only could be one king to a castle. So even though they both are great at their job, it was kind of hard to have both of them. But now having that one conductor here that's leading the team and being a distributor, you seeing his influence on Thibault. Thibault would go games with 2 points, 3 points. But now that he got a true point guard, get him that ball under Harden, it's up to like 8 points a game. You got to be impressed with him being the orchestrator, just the leader, the conductor. So far, very good returns. I'm happy.
I agree.
Yeah, and this is one of the reasons why I wasn't mad at them making this trade. I know a lot of people was worried about losing Seth Curry and Drummond and the 2 future draft picks. Sometimes you can get draft picks back during trades, especially the 2027. Like that's so far away, you can get draft picks in that time. And then next year's draft pick, like if we're playing the way that we should be playing, it ain't going to be that much of a high draft pick anyway. Yeah. So even though I think that Seth Curry would eat on this squad with James Harden.
Can you imagine Seth on his team?
But that being said, and I want to give a shout out to what's his name too. I was a little negative on him, DeAndre Jordan, but he showed a physical presence inside. Now Chicago is kind of undersized.
Chicago not really physical inside though.
But yeah, no, they're not. They're not. But that being said, I saw like when they started trying to drive in there, when Millsap was in there, dudes were still trying to drive in there hard like that. With DeAndre Jordan in there, you saw it was like a little hesitation with some of those finishes whenever he was in there. So, but that being said, Harden is a high IQ, and I think another reason why him and Chris Paul didn't work as much was because they're both older guys. You got 2 older alphas that's used to controlling everything. Like right now, Chris Paul over there in Phoenix, he got a bunch of young boys with him, and it's like he, you know what I'm saying, can orchestrate. Listen, even though like Booker's a stud, but Booker's still a young boy, so that's like OG status. Yeah. So when you got like 2 of them OG, one of them gotta give. Like even like Harden is the OG on the squad, and everybody give him that OG status. Bede is the horse, because let's not get it twisted. Bede is still going to dominate. But when you get against teams that can play the zone like Miami, I can't wait to see us with Harden against Miami and Boston, because they play that zone like that. But when you have an actual point guard that can dissect the defense the way that Harden can, it makes a world of difference.
No, I agree. I mean, he didn't shoot that well tonight. He had one of them struggling nights where he was Harden. I'm talking about where he didn't shoot that well. I think it was 5 for 15 or something like that. But I mean, he makes up for it in getting everybody else involved. Like I don't think have we scored less than 120 with Harden in the lineup? I think we average around 120 points a game since Harden's been here in the lineup. So I'm anticipating when we play against Boston and the Nets coming this week too. I know, well, somebody said they were going to be there. I think Juan Q. Somebody said they were actually going to be at the game on Thursday. So that'd be Juan Q. He said he'll be at the game on Thursday. So that'd be nice to see them.
Like, excuse me, I do miss Ben, but it's all right. It's gonna be okay.
I mean, truth be told, though, I don't think. I mean, how much time would Seth Curry have gotten on his team? I mean, how many minutes? You think so? What you think?
How much time would Maxey have gotten if Ben was playing?
No, I'm talking about if Seth was still here, because y'all saying Seth would have really ate, but how many minutes would he got? I mean,
he's the first player off the bench.
All the minutes we saw Cork in there shooting up bricks.
Yeah.
I mean, but what's that? What was Cork getting? Like Shake got 13 minutes, I think, is in the other ball. Whatchamacallit, Isaiah Joe got like 11. I mean, how many? I mean, honestly, would you give him more?
Go ahead.
I mean, I'm not taking no minutes from Maxey. You definitely ain't taking no minutes from Harden. So who you taking minutes from? You can't put him at the smart. You ain't taking minutes from Toby or Danny Green because they don't play the same position.
Why can't you go with a 3-guard lineup when Harden is 6'5"? You can still go with a 3-guard lineup
because Harden defense ain't that good. Harden ain't banging down low. You putting Harden down low?
Huh? Not necessarily down low. You can play a 3-2. Like it's all kind of different stuff you can get. But if you're talking about on the offensive end, you're talking about all these open shots that we see Toby bricking and we see Korkmaz bricking. Could you imagine Seth Curry getting these open looks? You know what I'm saying? And even if he's not shooting it, the fact that you have to respect that shot that much, it opens it up so much more for everybody else.
Somebody said, I'm not saying he wouldn't have hit. I'm just saying how many minutes would he have got. I don't think Wickham said he got Thibault minutes. I don't think somebody said it. I don't think D-Market. I don't think he'd have got Thibault minutes because we, at the same time, as much offense as we generate, we still need defense. Thibault's huge on playing defense. Plus, Thibault actually is hitting the open shot at a pretty good clip. So, truth be told, the only ball ain't really playing a part is Korkmaz and Toby. They're the only two dudes who Harden hasn't sprinkled the little Harden dust on and unlocked their game, because he unlocked Thibault. He's actually even seen to unlock Danny a little bit. Danny Green is actually playing better since Harden been here.
How's that Danny injury? Did he have
I don't know. I don't know if it was a broke finger. Or if it was
but he came back out. He was in the sweatsuit. As soon as he came back, he was in the sweatsuit, so we knew he wasn't.
Maybe Harden needs to do more than sprinkle on Toby. He needs to like dump a bag on him and throw him in a bucket or something.
Maybe.
I mean, I give it to Doc. Go ahead.
This Toby thing, man. Listen, if it's broke, it's broke. I think the way the team is rolling now, you can't force a fix with Toby. I'm sorry, you can't force it. If it comes, it comes. But you can't try to force this dude into this big three, because right now he's the odd man out. You just gotta let him fight through it. If he starts hitting his open shots and all this, he does. But he had 8 points again tonight. 8 points.
No, I think
that's what we had tonight.
What he had? Hold up, I gotta put. I just was looking at it. I actually looked over his stats.
8 points. He was 4 for 10. 8 points.
Yeah, 8 points. Yeah,
4 for 3 from the 3-point line. 3 rebounds, 3 assists. Do something. Go bang boards or something. If you know, this is my thing about players like Toby. If your offense truck, go down there and grind, get some boards, play D, do something. Do something else. It seemed like he just lost out there.
I mean, as regards to playing defense, like live and in person, looking at it, I thought Toby played pretty decent defense tonight. Like, I mean,
he did. He did.
Like that, but I thought he played decent defense. But that being, to your point, I agree with you to an extent. I'm not trying to force it through Toby, but in situations like this where you have, I'm not mad at them trying to get Toby into the rotation or getting Toby into the mix, because if you do get Toby to give you at least 16 points a night, 17 points a night, like tonight, a night like tonight, Maxey was off. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he was partying a little too hard with Harden down in Miami this weekend. You know what I'm saying? But
he came to life in the fourth quarter though. I think he dropped like 10 in the fourth quarter or something like that. He actually came to life.
He was 50. He was 6 for 13. 17.
But he was off early on. Maxey was off early on. He got hot in the fourth though. I actually told Tim that I think he was going to come through in the fourth quarter.
But huge.
But I mean, like he missed a couple bunny layups and stuff like that. Like he was off
some
a little bit.
Wasn't that bunny? Like a couple of them Jones, he was like flying through to get to eke out a layup. Made a great move
to get there, and it was a good shot at a layup, and he just it was just off.
I mean, I think. I mean, you know, sometimes you get them Jones. Like, I mean, it was an amazing athletic play to get to the rack in the first place. So it was a tough shot. I think I know which one you're talking about. The one that he flew through the lane and ended up rolling off the tip of the rim. Yeah. But even to get there was incredible. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But I mean, he came through huge with a couple shots late in the game to kind of make sure that Chicago didn't, you know, get crazy and try to steal a victory late in the game. So, I mean, I was proud of what Maxey did, and like I said, well, and not to forget, B had a monster game, bro. B offensively, defensively, and B was balling. He was legit.
And the minivan ball too.
Definitely. Somebody mentioned earlier that he's going to be like our PJ Tucker that plays scrappy defense and hit threes. I agree with that. You need one of them dudes on your team to make championship runs.
PJ Tucker had 30 minutes and 0 points in one of them playoff games. He ain't going to beat no PJ Tucker.
No, you know what he's saying. He's just saying from a hustle standpoint, energy standpoint, you need them dudes. You need them Bobby Portises. You need them type of what was the dude who used to play for the Lakers back in the day with Kobe and all them? His name George something George Devin George. I think that was his name. You need them kind of dudes that just jump around and get in the way and grab rebounds, and then when they get open, can knock it down. Those dudes help win championships. Niang is that dude for us right now.
And even with that, Niang gets dirty. He gets down there. Like if he has a size advantage, he will go down there, back a guy down, and make a move and everything else too.
I agree.
I think if we can get 10 points, I'm gonna say 8 from Thibault a night, that will help drastically, especially with the 8 points we get from Toby. So if we can get 8 from Thibault and Harris, that's 16 points right there in the starting lineup, including with Maxey, Embiid, and Harden. I think that's good enough. And then we get Yang off the bench. I think that'll work.
So they said Ben Simmons will be in the building on Thursday.
He ain't gonna be there. He ain't gonna be there.
No, they're saying he's on a road trip. Let me ask y'all this though, because
he's not gonna be there.
They asked this to Doc Rivers today.
His back gonna be sprung.
Should Ben?
My back is broken. Spinal.
They said should they play a video tribute to Ben Simmons?
Heck no. Heck no.
Obviously, you want to. You would love them to play.
You know what, Tim? I stand corrected. Yes, they should. Because the minute they start playing that crowd is going to boo like all be Jesus out that bus.
And it's like through the years from like Kenny Rogers, like through the year.
And they should do the crescendo when he scored 1 point in the playoff game.
That's how it should end. Like
that dude's out here. Enough of that dude. I don't want to hear he's done. He's dead to me. He's dead to me.
The people in the chat, should they give a video tribute to Ben Simmons on Thursday night? Yes or no?
Doc Rivers asked that? Did he really ask that?
Yeah, they asked that.
He quit on his city. He quit on his team. I'm not tripping.
He just decided to go elsewhere.
No, he quit. He quit.
I don't think he's done enough to deserve a video tribute. I mean, this is me personally. I just don't think he's done enough. He was a solid player. Like, that's like giving a video tribute to Clarence Weatherspoon. Like, did he do enough to deserve a video tribute coming back here? Yeah, I mean, I don't think he done enough. A video tribute is for dude who at least maybe got y'all to a championship or maybe even won y'all a championship or did something next level. Next level. Like I'm gonna say, that's what I'm saying. He got us to a championship. AI was next level. He's a 75 all-time great player. He deserves a championship. I mean, a video montage.
Ever in your godforsaken life compare Ben Simmons to AI. Don't ever.
I want to see that. Put a video tribute of him missing all these free throws. That's all I want to see.
That's the whole all the free throws he missed in that series. Just line them up. Just show them back to back like break.
Yeah, Ziggy said TJ got a video.
TJ who?
McConnell.
He didn't deserve one either. I wouldn't have given him no.
And Ben did a whole lot more than what TJ ever did.
They did about the same. He did a lot more than TJ.
I would definitely take Ben over TJ. And I'm not giving TJ no video tribute
I'm not talking about who you going to take.
I'm just telling you what I would do. I'm not giving neither one of them jokers a video tribute. TJ don't deserve one.
Who you would take over him is about what they done, and they done about the same for this team.
So therefore, Ben deserves a video tribute.
Whatever. I ain't talking about Ben.
I mean, hey, listen, you right. If they gave TJ one, they deserve to get Ben one. I would love to see it because I would love to hear them boo, get the crowd even more riled up, and hate. You would get the crowd even more riled up, and Ben, you'll see Ben Simmons sitting on the bench getting red ears and stuff. He probably walk back to the locker room like he got it back. He got to go heat his back up or something. He'll find a reason to leave.
That's not our next game, though, right? That's not our next game.
It is our next game.
We got to rest into the next game. Yeah, we got all that rest. I like it. We needed it. We played too many games. I still think that's a lot of games to be playing. 3 games in 4 days, I think, is a lot. I honestly don't think they should do nobody like that in the NBA schedule. But this is a much needed couple days off that we get. So hopefully,
we got 86% so far saying no to Ben Simmons tribute.
I agree. I agree with that. I agree.
Shout out to the other 14% to say yes.
They should do his tribute to the music "Brick House" by the like boom, 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 boom. Like every time on every beat song, brick.
Yeah, I guess though, Doc. Sometime I don't know why coaches seem to. Would it take so long to come around for when everybody sees it? I'm talking about Korkmaz. Like everybody's saying Korkmaz falling apart. Get these young boys a chance. Some coaches are so stubborn, Doc included. You even started this dude last game, and you hurt your team.
Doc said he's giving Isaiah Joe backup wing minutes because he worked so hard. He deserved it.
He should have been did that.
Sometimes you try to tap into your boys. I mean, sometimes you try to.
Wayne.
No, it's not about making excuses, but when you have a team, that's just like when you have guys, that's just like the same thing go with Tobias Harris. If you've had guys who's produced for you at certain points in time, you don't bail on them when it's going bad. Sometimes you trying to wait for them to get back around. That being said, sometimes it comes to a point where you just got to give up on that. But let's not act like Korkmaz when the season first started wasn't hitting, wasn't balling, wasn't playing nice. So I give Doc that. I do agree with you. I think he waited too late to start giving. I think he should have started giving them young people minutes earlier. But to a certain extent, and that's the kind of guy that vets like to play for. A vet don't want to come in here and feel like as soon as they're off, you're going to bench them.
You didn't bench him as soon as off. You gave him ample opportunity. My thing is, when does it start hurting?
But you're ripping them for giving them opportunity.
Don't wait. As a coach, you don't wait till it starts hurting your team to start making an adjustment. Even this is what I was saying last year in the playoffs about Ben Simmons free throws. And they kept asking him, are you going to keep him out? Yeah, I'm going to keep him out there. You waited until it hurt your team to make a change. That's dumb coaching. That's putting him above the team. Nobody is above the team. That's rule 1, right? So last year, Ben Simmons was above the team.
I can agree with that. I mean, I can agree with that a little bit.
But a little bit I agree, but I don't agree totally.
Sometimes you go with the people that got you there.
Exactly.
And that's
where did he get us?
Where did Court get us?
Huh?
Where did Court get us?
Listen, last year.
But I'm saying when you're saying about Court,
Ben was a complete free fall. He was faking COVID tests. And he was getting somebody to kick him in his back so he can have back problems.
And you say what you want. You say what you want. But Ben was the one true point guard that we did have. And whenever Ben wasn't in the game, our guard play was horrible and our turnovers went up. Because that's why we said we needed another point guard so badly.
Ben Simmons was trying to get out of playing a game. When you find out your player didn't want to play a game in the playoff, something's wrong. Something's wrong.
He still was the best point guard that we had.
I mean, but to Ethan's defense, I mean, it's the reason why Doc lost several 3-1 leads. Sometimes you don't make the adjustments when necessary to the detriment of your own team. You got to be willing sometimes to pull a string or pull a plug on somebody. And you got to know the temperature and the pulse of your team. And that, I think everybody saw. I was screaming on here, please give Maxey more minutes last year in Game 7 because he helped win Game 6 for us. And I think the same thing is right about Court this year. Court, granted, Wayne, he did start off playing fairly well, but I mean, he's been in a slump for well over a month of games, not just a month of time, a month of games.
I agree.
Been out of.
Ms. just said that Court been shooting 10% from 3 for the month of January since January. So But I'm saying what I'm saying is I do agree that he waited too long to pull the cord on court. But let's be honest. How many times we'll be in here and a guy have a few games like bench him, he trash, don't play him ever again, and this, that, and other. Like that can't a coach can't have that kind of reaction when a guy is going bad. That being said, Cork has been going bad for too long. We've all been saying that he needed to be benched.
No, I agree. I mean, sometimes you want to help a player get out of their slump. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think. I mean, has Cork developed that type of a leeway, a leverage where you can say, all right, I'm gonna let you play for a whole month of trash, and I got another dude who's really trying to step up. Like, I don't think he's earned that, is what I'm saying.
That's true.
Like, he earned a couple games. He earned maybe 2 weeks, but a whole month worth of stinking it up. I don't know, but I mean, I'm glad that he's finally pulling the trigger and making a move. But
Harden probably told him. Harden probably told him like, "Yo, bro,
get a young boy a shot."
Yeah,
I agree.
And if Harden told him that, that's even worse. I don't even want to hear that Harden told him that.
Yeah, I mean,
that don't bother me. If a coach is willing to listen to his vet players and take them into consideration when they say stuff.
No, that bothers me. That will bother me tremendously. That means your coach don't know what he's doing.
Not necessarily. If a coach is listening to, so you think if a coach in football, if a coach listens to a quarterback when a quarterback says certain things like let's try this, that, and the other, you think that's mean the coach don't control the team?
All right, listen, that's like what's the dude from the Eagles? JJ Arcega-Whiteside, right? So if the quarterback came to you like, listen, let's try what's the boy Ward, right? Let's try Ward after Arcega-Whiteside is stinking so bad, and the coach still keep trying to force him. Man, that's bad, coach. You need to be fired. Somebody needs to be fired for keep playing this dude.
No, I mean, like I said, I'm glad he made the adjustment. We'll see going forward. I mean, hopefully we could lock down a pretty nice lineup going into the playoffs. Hopefully we stay pretty much injury free. What I do see though, and I see some people saying in the comments, I know my father-in-law said the same thing, that Harden has won a lot of people over. A lot of people actually wasn't always on board, i.e. Tim, with the Harden trade.
No.
I was always okay. Whatever want you, but you wanted to wait. No, what you wanted to do was wait. A lot of people, okay, but let me finish. A lot of people they didn't want Harden right now. They either wanted to wait or they didn't think it was a good trade because a lot of people were saying, well, we need to get more athletic. We need to get a stretch 3 or 4 and all that stuff like that.
Point guards, stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, but my thing is, but a lot of people, no, I'm talking about a lot of people not necessarily saying they wanted a different trade, but a lot of people didn't believe that Harden would be as effective with us as he was. I think a lot of people, like Ethan, who was saying, the Buddy Hield and all that trade, he still would have liked to get Harden, I feel. But a lot of people didn't necessarily want to get Harden. And Harden, somebody said in the comment section tonight, he said, I didn't.
He would have rather got Halliburton than Hield.
No, he didn't.
Remember, he the main one that was talking about the lemon. He was talking about no, not the lemon. No, that was about Ben Simmons. but he was the main one talking about like what he say. What you say, Ethan? Did we get who? Who was the bus dude we had brought in here?
Chris Webber.
Yeah. You said did we get Webber Harden?
I was making sure we didn't get the Webber Harden. Listen, we didn't get the Webber Harden. We got the Harden. We got and he balled. I took the hat off to him, man. I did my condolences. What y'all want me? Y'all want me to write him on Twitter and tell him?
No, Ephraim was bringing up about how people. Ephraim was talking about how people, felt about Harden. Like I said, to me, I felt like I feel like what we made in the trade, I felt like we got over. Even when the national pundits and everything else was trying to say, "Oh, the Nets got over on this trade," I don't understand. I really didn't understand what everybody was looking at when you're looking at putting Embiid and Harden, and even when everybody was saying like they didn't seem like they matched up, it made no sense to me because I watched Harden play with subpar centers and make them shine. So now you telling me that he's going to play with possibly the best center of our generation. It remains to be seen if he continues on this level, possibly one of the greatest centers of this generation. And you're putting Harden on a team with him, and you telling me that's not going to work. I didn't see the reasoning behind that.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. And real quick, shout out to Fair FXL. He said y'all need to add a super chat so we'll be able to donate, Tim. So you got to get on it. I thought you did. You just supposed to be the man in the chair doing all the tinkering and the gadgetry behind the scenes, but maybe we need to get somebody else, y'all. But recommend somebody else that one of y'all homies is something to get them in.
I recommend you. That's what I recommend.
That's not my thing. That's your thing. This is what you're gonna be doing. But
I agree, and that was my point about.
Hold up, you just for the talk for 10 minutes. Let me get in.
Wait,
go ahead.
All right.
Good Lord. I was about to say I
want to comment on something too, real quick. I want to go back because Herbert, my man Herbert Sanders, long time man on here with us. Saunders.
What's up, Herb?
Good guy, but he made a comment about Ben Simmons having 13 assists in the game 7 of the playoffs. Ben Simmons had 5 points as your starting point guard, right? Guess who else had 5 points? Korkmaz had 5 points, and he started that game. I don't want to hear about these 13 assists.
13 assists is big.
He's the starting point guard for your team.
And his main job is to get assists.
That don't shoot the ball. How can y'all not have a problem with this?
I mean,
he's not a center, but he's not a forward. He's a starting point guard for your team.
But you arguing a moot point. I mean, he melted down. So I mean, even if he had the 13 assists, we all saw the meltdown was in full effect. But
but that's what I'm saying. Let's move on.
But I don't want to talk about Ben. But this is why I brought up Harden, because Herb justified my point. He said people hate Harden until he's on your team. He said I still hate him. He'll be going in 2 years with Sixers with no championship. So he believes that Harden being here is not going to get us a championship. I think. Well, I know Herb was so. He believed in him and Tim believed in Ben so much that they thought that it would be Ben that leads the championship. But all that being said, people still do feel like that about Harden. Harden is going to have to win a championship for people to really feel like we made the right move, which I don't feel that way. I mean, you had to put yourself in the best position to win a championship. This is the best position. We wasn't winning no championship this year without Harden. We wasn't even come close. So this is the best possible chance we have to win a chip. I'm so happy they made this move, and Harden making me happier and happier every time I see this dude ball.
Shout out to Morey. Like, go ahead, Tim.
Can I go now? I would say I love the Harden trade. I would love it even more if we made it in the off season, and that way we could have kept the resources that we had with Seth and Drummond. Like our bench would be we would have a nice bench. Then grab Hart and get rid of Tobias. Then 2022-2023 season, we'd be sick. Let me ask you this: on Saturday night, Doc decided to let the team stay in Miami for the evening instead of traveling home, because they traveled in the middle of the night. He didn't want them to travel again in the middle of the night to leave to get back to Philly. So he gave him a night in Miami. Did y'all have any issues, any problems with that?
Well, first of all, I'm going to address my point to what we was talking about, since y'all going to keep cutting me off, and then you want to bring in whole another point.
We want another point.
We moved on.
Well, y'all can go ahead to the other point. I'm going to address my point.
Go ahead.
How you going to address your own point?
I'm going to address the point that our subscriber brought up, where Dominic said give Morey his props. Morey made the trade. He didn't pull the trigger early.
Gave Morey his props.
No, because some people still saying he backed into the thing that he didn't make.
He still did.
I give him his props.
Let's give him his props.
Other people thought that wasn't the best trade that he made. Tim saying he thought Morey should have made the trade. He should have waited for the offseason.
Why do you like Harp? Why do you like Harp?
If you would have shut up. I just shut up and had to let y'all talk. Now I'm going to talk. Tim, you just said about wait to the offseason. If you wait to the offseason, then that means you have to sign Harden to the max, so you don't have the room to bring in a whole nother big contract.
You don't have to
now because you signed him to the team, he's on your roster. That it could be moved a little bit differently in the side. I don't care about losing Steph Curry to bring in over James Harden. I don't care about Steph Curry or Drummond.
Me neither.
What did Drummond do? What did Drummond do his last game when he just got manhandled? Like, come on.
The way Maxey's shooting, the way Harden shoots, the way Thibault been shooting, the way Niang and Shake Milton been shooting. Now the Harden lineup, to me, is you tell me all right, if we kept Seth, right? Let's say hypothetically we kept Seth this year. How much more points do you think our points would go up by more? We averaging 120 games with Harden, 120 points a game with Harden in the lineup. You think Seth will increase that to what, 130? I don't think so. I think these other dudes is playing a role Seth was playing very inconsistent this year. Now he in the Nets and he's doing okay over there. A couple games he had, but Seth was very inconsistent this year. We got the team getting rid of him and Ben and Drummond and bringing Harden and whatchamacallit here. I'm ecstatic. I'm liking what I see, bro. I'm good.
Can you imagine?
No sweat.
Harden and Seth together? Like Seth didn't even have a point guard this year, or like a true point guard. Then imagine him finding him open on the wing, just splashing. That's now it's a whole different.
Or how about this year you build a winning culture, and now you have Embiid and you have Harden, and you go into the postseason where other vets can look and see, and they say, "Man, it's Embiid and Harden there. I can go in there and just play my role, and we can win." They not looking at Seth Curry in the offseason like, well, they got Seth Curry and Embiid. We can go there and do this and another.
No, you still sound Harden. Somebody still gonna say, "Oh, they got Harden and Embiid." They just Harden
takes your team right.
I agree with Wayne though.
I'm not a Curry fan.
Yes, you are the Curry twins. Yes, you are. You are a Curry fan. Own that. Own that. The Curry twins have given Morey his props. All I'm saying. So you don't like Steph? You don't like the chef? Who don't like the chef?
I like him. Listen, I'm not all ecstatic over Curry like you. I'm more of a basketball
LeBron.
fan.
Yeah, you more of a LeBron. Yeah, you more of a LeBron fan. Yeah,
you see, you couldn't stop gushing in the middle of our podcast when LeBron was dropping some points. He was like, "Y'all see LeBron?" Well, we in the middle of our podcast talking about the Sixers.
Exactly.
LeBron went bumpers last night.
But he did. Yeah, LeBron did go off.
I'm a basketball fan. I like good basketball. I like sitting down with a cold Pepsi and watching a good basketball game.
For one, I do. I agree with that too. That's why, and that's why you have to be a Curry fan, because Curry puts a great show on. Him and John Moran right now must see TV, and Harden and B. But Wayne, I do agree with Wayne's point, Tim. What Wayne is saying is, if you establish what they're going to do this year, you can always draw more talent next year. Like when they get together, you got people like Herb and even my father-in-law, other people who didn't think it would be a good mesh. It was national pundits who was questioning whether how good they would get along, and everybody was calling Harden a quitter and watch he want to leave the Sixers, and he was crying and all this hate they was giving Harden about going to about leaving at Brooklyn and coming here. So some of that same stuff could have happened, especially if the Nets would have lost and didn't win nothing. Then Harden could have been labeled a failure. What he going to do with B? Who knows? And so it could have deterred people from going. But now, like Wayne said, you establish a winning culture. It will get more people in here coming next year. We could actually win a championship this year with Toby. Let him go and get better.
Nicholas Hill sat behind y'all, giving y'all props, Tim and Wayne.
Oh, that's what's up. Oh, you got somebody? Okay, Wayne got a subscriber.
He said they seen y'all at the Sixers game looking like JJ and Michael.
A fake JJ and Michael.
Yo, what's up, Nick? Appreciate you, bro. Yo, it was a good night out there. We had fun out there.
We had fun. What's up?
Yo, but also I forgot what I was going to say. It was another point. Somebody messed me up. I was looking at one of the comments. Somebody said something wrong with Bell. I can't remember what it was. Curry twins. First of all, I gave Morris props. But all I said was I honestly don't think that trade would have happened unless the Nets started melting down. With KD getting hurt, Kyrie not getting vaccinated, I think that trade don't happen. If you honestly think that trade happens and the Nets is in first or second place and Morris still able to get Harden at that point, I think you deceiving yourself. You being disingenuous. There's no way in the world the Nets would have traded Harden if they were sitting in first place with Harden or second place. There's no way that would have happened.
I agree with you to a point, but the thing is, Morey didn't panic and make it. He felt like at some point in time, I can make a deal. Like the same thing that I was trying to say earlier in the season is, at some point in time, teams start panicking at a certain point, whereas though they got to make moves. Now, I'm not saying that I foresaw this Harden thing coming through, but it was like certain times where we was thinking like it could have been Dame or it could have been Bradley Beal, that somebody would make a move. And it just so happened.
What you say?
Morey stuck to his guns and he didn't panic.
I agree with that. I can agree with that. I can't hate on that. What you say, Ethan?
I said Jamar coming at me over there. Listen. I did downplay the relationship. I did. The relationship might have been better than I thought. But listen, let's keep it real. He got the deal done. But let's not act like it was because Harden started acting a fool and things fell apart in Brooklyn. Let's not act like things didn't fall apart with Kyrie, COVID, KD getting hurt, it did fall apart. Sometimes it takes sometimes it takes
that's all I'm saying.
Sometimes it takes circumstances, an event of fortunate circumstances to fall into place for things to happen. And
but some of us see,
because sometimes even when a chip, it takes just like when Kawhi won a chip, it was fortunate circumstances that happened for Toronto win that chip. You can't sit here and tell me with KD and Curry playing, Toronto would have won that series. They wouldn't have. Sometimes,
but you got to put yourself in that position, and let's keep it a bean. Some of us in here, me and Ephraim, when we looked at the whole thing, we was talking about from the minute that the Nets got together, we saw disaster could unfold with them. We got into a whole conversation where we was talking about how Kyrie was a ticking time bomb with how he is with certain stuff. We talked about this. Ephraim talks about all the time about KD not being a leader, and so. That being said, we talked about, and I never had confidence in Steve Nash. Everybody was like, "Oh, Steve Nash as a coach." I never had this confidence in Steve Nash as this coach coming in to be this great mentor in this team. And Kyrie even said, "We don't have a coach; we coach ourselves." So to me,
Kyrie said that was the beginning before it even started. They will never let that quote die. He was like, when they
and he still feel that way.
He said we don't need a coach.
Okay, and did he not punk that man the whole season? He taking personal time off. Don't call him up. Don't give him the respect of telling him this, that, and the other. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that team is in disarray. That organization is in disarray.
I agree. I mean, and everybody who listen, Harden did want to leave. He did want to come to Philly initially. He actually wanted to come to either Philly or the Nets. He didn't mind. That's what he said. He said that's his two choices, the Philly or the Nets. So it ain't like he never wanted to go to the Nets. They was actually having a good year last year. That's why he actually came out and played on a suspect hamstring to try to get to the championship. He really felt their odds was good enough to beat Milwaukee and get to the championship. And they was one toenail away from actually going to the Eastern Conference Finals. So it ain't like he didn't want to be there. I think things kind of facilitated themselves to let him to be able to lead. Because he was like, yo, look, Kyrie ain't playing. He ain't get the shot. KD hurt. The organization shambles. Y'all want Kyrie to play or don't want him to play. Now y'all want him to play half the games. Y'all just doing goofy stuff. I got to get out of here. So I think that kind of helped out. But there's no hate on Morey. I get Wayne, like Wayne said, y'all see in the comments, he stayed pat. He held his hand. He was actually willing to wait until the off season and then try to make a move. And like I said, it worked out right now that it came to fruition with the trade. But I mean, he still maybe been able to get Harden in the off season too. So it worked out. I'm glad he's here. He won the championship. Easy.
Brooklyn has problems over there with KD and Kyrie. I don't know. Neither one of them dudes is really leaders.
I keep saying that. I disagree.
They're not leaders.
Who do you
Show me one franchise. Hold on. They were both on separate franchises, and they were the main one.
They both won championships. And
hold on. They didn't win. Hold on. They didn't win a championship as the man on that team.
They did. KD was the man on his team.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't. Hold on. Kyrie came. I mean, KD came to Golden State just like Harden's coming to the Sixers.
No, it's different.
It's even worse.
It's not
Golden State was the championship team that went 73-9. So I agree. Golden State already has
both championship
teams. Golden State already has a culture that KD just slid right into.
It doesn't matter.
That's why KD left. But that's one of the reasons why KD left, because he knew he would never get the full. Even Bob Myers, when they was at the rally, remember when he kind of disrespected KD a little bit? He was like, yo, like almost really like saying this is Seth's team. The city loves Seth, the team, everybody look up to Seth. They don't look up to KD for leadership. KD was
since he left.
KD is a baller, but they don't look to him for leadership and direction.
Since he's been gone,
everybody was hurt. Right now, they're in the second place in the West. So I mean, what has KD done since he left Golden State? I mean, actually the crazy part about it is the Nets actually got to the playoffs and in a decent seed with KD barely playing last year. Now, when he got in the playoffs, he did his thing. What, he played 28 games last year, I think, or something? It might have been less than that. He already played.
He got to the playoffs in the bubble without Kyrie playing. So,
I mean, I'm not hating on KD. Is a great. Don't get me wrong. KD's a great player. I just don't think he's a great leader. I think you need leadership to help you win.
D said they're gonna show Ben passing up that open layup on the tribute.
Somebody said they're gonna show a tribute to
the video tribute. They're gonna show him passing up the fire.
They said they're gonna have him shooting free throws. I was like,
listen, and let's not act like Morey didn't have half the Sixers on the trade block before the Nets got Harden. Let's not act like everybody wasn't on the trade block then. It just so happened the Nets didn't want to do the deal. Houston didn't want to do the deal.
I mean, that being said, that early in it, I'm pretty sure by that time I think he would have had other moves in place.
He had Maxey on the block. He had Fiber. He had all of them going.
Listen, you ain't got to tell me I didn't want to make that trade. Remember, I was getting fussed at when I said it would be too much. I said I didn't want to give up the whole squad or depth for one player. I argued that point then.
Marcus said JJ Redick did more than Ben. That's kind of funny. Charlie M, I agree with you. Golden State was never a KD team, regardless of what the KD fans want to tell you. KD's a great player, though. I mean, he probably is the second best player right now, playing the best ball behind LeBron. I still think LeBron the best player in the NBA. LeBron at any given moment.
Piper hit it on the head, Wayne. He know you. He must know you. You know him personally, Piper?
He said
Wayne a homer.
I'm a homer. I don't know him. What did I say that makes me a homer?
Hey, he said Wayne is a homer. Don't know nothing.
What did I say to make? What do I say to make me a homer?
Just because a homer, why you gotta defend yourself? You're a homer.
Because just because I think that I think that the move that they made was right. What makes me a homer? It kills me. First, I'm a homer. Then I'm a Ben hater. I'm a Ben apologist. I'm just everything. That's because I don't just go off of the moment. I'm looking at the whole picture, and I'm looking at the whole league and everything else. As of right now, I think with James Harden, that puts us right up in that category of being up there. I wasn't saying that I thought we was going to win the championship without Harden. I thought that we had a good team. I thought Embiid was good enough. But if you don't think that the James Harden trade puts us in the best position to try to compete and win a championship, then you just hating.
Did somebody see the stat when I think Embiid never lost to the Bulls? Was that the stat?
I think they said something like that, like 14-0 or something. Somebody said that. I think the girl.
No, Charlie M said no. Wayne used to be a homer. See, that's what I'm saying.
I don't care. Hey, Jamar Oliver. Once again, I say this again. I don't care about voting awards. I don't care about voted on awards as regards Defensive Player of the Year, MVPs. The only thing that matters is what I see with my eyes and what my eyes tell me. So everybody saying Curry don't got MVP finals, I don't care about that. Just like everybody's saying.
Eyes also said that Carson Wentz was a great quarterback, but
he was for a time. He was an MVP candidate until he got hurt. He probably would have won MVP that year, but he fell off. I'm here to admit that Carson Wentz fell off. Just like people's eyes is telling them that Jalen Hurts probably get if they got Deshaun Watson or Russell Wilson in here, Jalen Hurts either be on the bench or gone. But that's neither here nor there. We talk about the Sixers tonight.
Yeah, I'm a homer though. So I'm a homer as much as I raise Jalen Hurts. I'm a homer though.
But the thing is, from what y'all seeing right now, who's our biggest? Y'all said Miami. Y'all still think Miami is our biggest competition coming out of the East?
Boston.
I think Miami and Boston is going to be the two toughest because they played the Embiid toughest.
I still go with the Bucks.
I think Miami and Boston play Embiid the toughest. I need to see the Sixers play against them with James Harden to see if he makes as big a difference, like going against that zone. Because those teams that can play that zone and throw those bodies down there, they frustrate Embiid. And even when Embiid gets inside, if you don't have somebody, James Harden can get him the ball in tight spaces. Nobody else.
I say the Bucks because they got Drew Holiday that's going to try to lock Harden up, and you know Drew plays incredible defense.
He's going to foul.
We just beat him before the break.
Harden got to be the most savviest, annoying dude to defend in the whole NBA because he going to get you fouled up. He going to rack them fouls up on you. He going to throw his hands. He going to do some little swipe. He going to get you. You going to try to peek your head in there, and Harden will have you in foul trouble before you know it. That's one of the things actually that adds to his offensive prowess because once he gets you in foul trouble, then you can't really go all the extra defense on him like you was trying to. So now you got to be cautious. You got to back up, which is going to create more space for him to do what he do and to get other bulls in the game. So that's why it used to irritate me a little bit when Harden used to do that because I know that's what ends up happening. But that's actually, I mean, it benefits your team. You get somebody who going to You're going to make somebody not go hard on defense like they should, and now you can get your shot off and facilitate the other dudes. Easy money. Easy money.
Listen, Drew, all right, let me rephrase that because he will give Harden a tough time with defense. I watched last year in the finals, and what he did with Chris Paul, he started guarding Chris Paul the whole length of the court. I'm talking about from game 3 on. And the Suns didn't win a game after that, if you watched. Do you know how much pressure and how much fatigue that is on you to push that ball up the court, whole court, every game from game 3 on? That's going to test
I
your
agree,
tank.
Chris Paul is not James Harden. Chris Paul is not James. James Harden is a 6'5" physical guard. Chris Paul is 6'1", 6'2", and he's not as physical. So it's a difference. Drew Holiday, Drew's an outstanding player. But one of the things Drew does is he uses his size against other guys. Like even when we went up against, like when Maxey go up against, he uses his size and his athletic ability against them guys. He does not have that leverage on a James Harden. So
but that's why I think
Drew's stronger than you think.
No, he's not. James Harden is stronger than you think. James Harden is stronger than you.
Drew's stronger than you. I know. I see the fat on Harden. I know. He's solid.
The fat. See, you talking about the fat on him? That's what I'm talking. You talking like he's just this fat dude.
I think Drew's strong. I think y'all don't give Drew. I don't think you don't give Drew his props, man. Drew's a
no. Drew is like the guard Draymond. He like the Draymond of guards. He actually plays a lot of guard. He actually plays people that are way bigger than him, and he plays them very well. But this is why I think the Sixers is going to be smart, because if you notice, even a lot of times tonight, Maxey actually brings the ball up. It's that speed Maxey got. It can get past a lot of dudes like that. It's going to be hard to try to run with a dude like Maxey who don't got no tired meter on him at all. He could go all day. He got that youthful energy. So I think that's going to be one of the things they use to try to keep somebody like Drew from trying to wear Harden down. He ain't going to have to bring it up the whole thing. And actually, I think that's what kind of helped this, to be told. I'll let you get in, but I think that's going to, with Maxey playing point guard early in the year and having to get his handles tight to run point, that's going to help us in situations like that.
That's what I don't do. I do give other players props. I don't. No, he gonna tear Drew up. No, he was Bam ain't do nothing. Listen, if I sit there and watch the game and I see my B was 3 for 13 and Bam was sticking him 90% of the time, get a man his props. I don't have no problem giving nobody no props. A lot of people have a problem giving players from other teams props when they do something well against the Sixers. Just like what's the boy from the Celtics that we had in your Horton? Horton plays B well. I give him his props. Horford. Yeah, Al Horford. I don't have no problem giving these bulls. I don't have no problem giving bulls props. You got bulls that be homers that don't want to give nobody.
No, but
he gonna do this to him. He gonna do that to him.
It's a balance between it. It's not like they're locking Embiid up one-on-one. Those teams play excellent team defense, and they play excellent defense as a scheme. And that being said, Horford and Bam play excellent, like the first man on there. But when Embiid makes a move to get past them, is definitely help coming.
I say this. Jamar Oliver made a good point. He said, "I have a question: who has ever locked up Harden?" I mean, can you say that you saw somebody lock him up for a whole series? I know some.
I will say this: that I think the first or second game we played the Nets, Ben Simmons actually did a great job on James Harden. One of them.
Okay, that brings it to my next point. Now, Piper said,
"Good job on Harden."
Piper 23. Piper 23 said, "Do you think Ben can lock up Harden?"
Now, I'll say the game that Ethan's talking about, if I remember correctly, Harden actually was putting up work in the first half, and then Ben got on him in the second half, but Harden was the only guy carrying that team at the time because they had no other guy, and it was like,
and then did Ben lock him up?
And then we blew them away, and I mean, listen, he did, but it wasn't like he was guarding the whole game. That being said, first of all, I don't think Ben is going to do anything the man can't play a regular season game in Philadelphia. What makes you think he's going to come in a playoff atmosphere and all of a sudden be up and in the moment and ball out in Philadelphia? He can't play in Philadelphia. He's telling you that.
All right, y'all, we're going to wrap this thing up. We will be back on Thursday.
So DeMarcus said, I was at the game. Hold on. DeMarcus said I was at the game when Harden was with the Rockets game, and I think he's saying gave us 55, and Kevin Hart jumped in the post game. Been in the bag.
Ben ain't play that game.
So that was my next question. Did he
did
he play that game? So I mean, you might be able to do a good for a game or so or whatever like that. But I mean, I don't see Ben locking up Harden. Ben to me I haven't never seen Ben lock up any superstar guard.
I have.
Name him.
All right.
I mean, that game that Ethan's talking about, Ben did lock him up in the second. The same way against Dame, when Dame was lighting the sixes up, and then Ben got on him like in the fourth quarter and made it difficult. But it wasn't like Ben was on him the whole game locking him up. Ben did his job though. So I'm not going to say Ben can't defend him, but like Ephraim said, I don't see him locking anybody up from beginning to end. Not even on the type of time that Thibault did against Steph, where he was guarding Steph the whole game and made it difficult for him the whole game.
I agree.
All right, we catch y'all Thursday after the game.
What's your prediction on this next game?
We gonna win.
Ben Simmons won't play.
Ben Simmons won't play. We're gonna win, and Ben Simmons gonna get booed terribly if he hit that sideline.
All right, don't forget that subscription.
Play the song, Rome.
Thumbs up.
Hey Nick, tell them they a baby. They babies.
Thanks a lot watching, y'all. We out.
Deuces.